in the Capitol, busy things going on. We're back on the floor.
That's
you
right.
guys have committee meetings still to wrap some things up, and you're on your way to the International Business and Tourism Committee.
International Relations and Tourism Committee. That's right. This is part of the committee process. We're doing about 2 hours of work on the floor, and the rest of the time is in committee. So yesterday I was in the Energy Committee. Today I'm chairing my own committee, International Relations and Tourism. We have with us guests from Shawnee, international students in track. OBU just won the national track. They also won huge basketball win. We're all proud Bisons. You're a Bison. I'm a Bison. Sam Hammonds was here. He's on the board.
We're a Bison too.
Yeah, this is a big Bison day at the Capitol. We have 4 Bisons who are actually House members. And so what we're doing today is we're highlighting for our committee, we're educating them about how sports impacts tourism and how international students have an impact on all that mix. So we're interviewing the students. They're presenting to the committee. We have them from Montenegro, from Brazil, from Sweden, and from Jamaica that are going to be presenting on the floor, in my committee, and talking about their experience coming to the United States, and then also reminding the committee members that international students bring $150 to $200 million annually to the local economy, and that's just good, clean money. There's no manufacturing waste left from that, besides whatever they buy. And of course, we have the English schools at St. Gregory's and OBU, where those students are coming in learning English so that they can apply their trade, and that's what we're focusing on today. So I'll be leaving here in just a few minutes to educate my committee about that economic impact.
And let's talk about that just for a second, because a lot of times we don't understand that just bringing outside people into our areas helps our economic structure as a community.
That's
and
right.
that's really what tourism is about in international business and international studies.
Well, when tourism, a functional definition of tourism is giving someone a reason to come to your area and spend their money. That's tourism. And whether they're doing it because there's a great sporting venue, or whether they're coming because they want to see a team play, or they're wanting to canoe or kayak down the Illinois, or they're wanting to
Come to a university.
All these types of things. When they come, they buy gas, they buy food, they stay in hotels, and they employ you at your place of business. I got an email just the other day, and it's very important to hear from constituents, and he said, make sure that no foreigners own property or infrastructure in the state of Oklahoma. And I said, well, that means you're going to lose literally hundreds and even thousands of jobs, because we have companies from Taiwan who've invested in the northern part of Oklahoma who are employing hundreds of employees. You have a lot of, Total gas stations. Those are owned by the French. So we want the right types of people here. And remember, unless you're Native American, at some point you immigrated here. And so we have to be very careful that in our policy to try to protect the United States, we're not doing so in such a way that it creates job problems for your kids and my kids.
Well, and actually it gives us an answer and an avenue for an answer to the economic problems that we're having all throughout the state, from the municipalities all the way up through the state and to our very nation. And one of those areas is people want to come and be with us because we are who we are, or the products that we have.
That's right.
They spend our money, and that creates good economy.
That's right. And the fact that English is the #1 language around the world, if you want to be a doctor, you have to know English to be able to get the latest research. You want to be in computers, you have to be able to read the Microsoft manuals. If you want to do any kind of major research, we dominate that around the world. The #1 disqualifier for international pilots is not their ability to fly a plane well, but whether or not they can communicate with the towers in English. So English is a commodity that we have to sell that sometimes we don't realize is incredible value. And after 9/11, when we started restricting the number of international students who could come to Oklahoma or to the United States, New Zealand and Canada and Australia and Great Britain were trying to gobble up market share that used to come here, and the millions and millions and trillions of dollars that were funneling into the local economy. So these are types of things that we have to be cognizant of. It's a big world out there, and we can have a part of that market if we have policies that encourage the right kinds of people to be here and encourage them to spend their tourist dollars here. Because at the end of the day, it's homestay families that are benefiting, both enriching their homes, their hearths, and the classroom is enriched because you have kids from Tecumseh, Oklahoma, or McLeod, or Macomb, or Shawnee that get to meet someone from Japan or wherever. That enriches the atmosphere. But not only that, $150 to $200 million economic impact to the state of Oklahoma is nothing to sneeze at.
The committee structures are very important up here at the Capitol, and they are very much an information highway for all of us. It's almost just as important, and you can get even better information a lot of times if you visit during the committee time and hear these different presentations, because then you're hearing what our representatives are hearing.
That's right. And yesterday I had several groups that come in from Shawnee talking about different pieces of legislation. Chuck Skillings was here from Unity Hospital and was talking about some of the legislation that I was actually running and how he felt like it would impact the community. At the same time, Jim Walker from McLeod, Oklahoma, who was working on that same piece of legislation, I said, hey, the two of you need to sit in my office and work out these details, because both of them had insight in a particular piece of legislation that I was working on. So, two constituents hammering out solutions for everybody in Oklahoma right in my office just down the hall here. We also had the Dale government class that came in and had them up in the glassed-off area. They were watching the proceedings on the floor, asking questions, some great questions from Dale, and it just goes on and on. Constituents pop in. Sometimes they let me know that they're coming. Sometimes I don't know until they're on my doorstep. But every one of them, we get an opportunity to learn a little bit more and hopefully do a better job at representing.
It's all about communication. Representative Jett, you've always been gracious enough to communicate with all of us. We, sir, appreciate you.
Daniel, I appreciate the opportunity. This is great for me to be able to let them know what I'm doing and be transparent and accountable.